The Boss in the Sauce Show.
Boss in the Sauce Show.
Boss in the Sauce Show.
Boss in the Sauce Show. Here we go.
There we go. That's much better.
They couldn't hear us?
I guess so.
We'll start over.
But yeah, we back in effect with technical difficulties, but that happens when you're on the fly and having fun because we're having a whole lot of fun out here. Big shout out to Guillermo in the chat. Oh, we miss you. This would have been a great one for the Zatucci family to hang out with us on this one, but catch us on the next one for sure. We're having a blast out here, man. We cashing tickets out here. We got a nice little crowd out here. Shout out to Von Polo. Shout out to Wager Detective. Shout out to my man Prince of the City. Shout out to Comic Rick. Shout out for those that just pulled up out of nowhere just because we was here. We appreciate that. Big shout out to Donahue in the chat. My guy, he's gifted a membership out there. You know, we need those memberships. We got the membership only plays coming in all the time. So we do appreciate that, Donahue. And we got my man JT in the house. JT, you're supposed to be here, my buddy. We got the stogies ready, and we got the boardwalk ready. Just right up your alley, JT. But yeah, it's beautiful out here in Atlantic City. It's a blessing to be here with all of our friends and enjoying these times. But I could talk about that forever. Let's talk some college football. Y'all ready for this? Now let's jump into right into our biscuit and gravy section of the show. Let's go for it.
If I find my way home, wouldn't it be crazy? Can't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Can't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Can't you still amaze me?
Yes. It is biscuits and gravy time, and look what I did. I did messed up the whole screen for y'all. But I fixed that real quick. And oh shucks, I thought I fixed it real quick, but I messed it up. But yeah, biscuits and gravy. Last week, you guys already know. Last week we went 4-3. Tough week there, but we made it out alive. It wasn't a negative week. As long as we keep going in the positive, when we sweep the board these couple times, we'll be right there at the top. So this week we jump on in it. Yesterday we took down Iowa. Good win from Iowa, -2.5. So we already got one up for the week. Next we got the UCF pick. I'm not sure that was a Wine Times pick or your pick?
That wasn't mine.
Yeah, UCF comes out of Wine Time. Our prayers and our heart goes out to Wine Time. He had a little small accident. Everybody's fine, but he's awaiting the child and all that stuff, so he has to be very precautious. But that's Wine Time pick for the Central Florida. I have no breakdown on that game at all. But Illinois, that's you, right, Big Ragu?
Illinois is one of my plays. Yes, it is.
That's one of his favorite plays today. All the guys waiting in the sports book, they already know it because we've been talking about it. Our man Peter Loshak is in the building, y'all. It's unbelievable to be hanging out with Pete all weekend. This is just such a pleasure. But what you got on Illinois, Big Ragu?
Yeah, this is a I'm not worried about this play at all. In actuality, I know there's a lot of people that kind of like both sides. The betting splits are pretty close here. It does feel like a public dog in my book a little bit here on the Illinois side, but this is a big matchup. You're talking about top 25s, top team matchup, probably one of the biggest games in the day, ranking wise, outside of the Auburn Oklahoma game later on. But this has a great making of a classic Big Ten matchup. You got Illinois, which I think is probably the most, I'm not saying underrated team, but one of the top teams outside of Ohio State in my book. What Bielema's done with this team, offensively, defensively, they travel well. Defenses travel well, as we know. So this game has the early playoff implications. The X factor to me is going to be Luke Atmeyer. 72% completion rate. Indiana, they have a great quarterback of their own. This game should have been like a late October game, but it's been played a little bit early here for the playoff implications. So I think Illinois getting the points here. You got two great defenses, two teams that can move the ball. The total, what do we got for a total on this game? Do we even know what the total is?
I don't got the total on hand.
I know the number's like 5.5, but I'm on the side here. I'm not messing with the total. I'm going to take Illinois plus the points here.
Yeah, we're getting Illinois +6 in the contest. Big shout out to my man Ski Prophet, who couldn't make it out here with us, but Ski and Dutch, I'm telling y'all, this is y'all program right here. This y'all like this kind of stuff right here. We got to do this again and again and again. So shout out to y'all. Next up is Memphis pick. That was my pick with Memphis. We've been riding Memphis all the way up to this point. This is their biggest breaking point right here with an Arkansas team that we was just talking about. Sam Pittman might be the end of him at Arkansas. He went and got Petrino. Like, he's throwing everything but the kitchen sink at that. He's looking good so far. In the non-conference game. This is actually a non-conference game as well, but a great step up for a Memphis team that's being backed by FedEx, y'all. They want to see what do we get for our NIL money, right? And they're going to bring it all today. The quarterback, Lewis, he got a good deep ball on him, and that's where they're weak over there in Arkansas with the deep ball. So I expect a lot of points in this game, but also expect Memphis to hang in there, possibly win, but definitely cover the 7.5 that we're getting for the biscuits and gravy. Next up is another one of mine, Utah. And, people have split decisions on this one. But I just feel Utah, we talked about it early in the season, Willingham, he's never had a down season that didn't bounce back well. And this is a great bounce back spot for him today to show that he can win the Big 12. This is the winner of this game gets the lead in the Big 12. So Texas Tech, they just poured up with a whole bunch of NIL money, a brand new stadium, and social media. They just poured up with all that good stuff, but they got a tough challenge going into Utah early in the daytime against a Utah team that standardly pays tough D. That's just standard. They play tough. Even in their losing season last year, they played tough defense. So they're going to play tough defense and give Texas Tech a run for their money right here. But I think the offense is where they're going to actually get loose with Devin Dampier. I think after this game, he puts it up on them real good, and he becomes a Heisman candidate top runner right here. This is what it's all for right here. And this one right here, the next one, Big Ragu, I'm supposed to do it the best in the Mountain West, but Big Ragu came in with the San Diego State +12. Tell them how you got to that one, Big Ragu.
Yeah, well, can I touch on that Utah game?
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
Here's my little take on it, and I'll just put a little spin on it, a little bit different than Boss has. So, right, we talk about Whittingham at home, who's money. Anytime they're playing in Utah. And here's the thing, guys. This is an early start today. This game starts at 9 o'clock on the West Coast. So both teams are going to, be knocking some dust out of their eyes to get this one going. But the Utah offense, like we were saying, it's always been about Cam Rising. Is he playing this week? Is he playing? And he seemed like he was a quarterback there forever. With Dampier, that kid's legit. He's everything plus with Dampier. And the Utes have the number 3 rated offense. They're putting up over like 517 yards a game. That's going to be a little bit of trouble for Tech. The only trouble spot maybe for Utah is a little bit. This Tech offense is pretty good too. So we're thinking maybe over possibly, but stay simple and keep it on the side. But we're going to get back onto the other game. we're going to talk about the San Diego State game. So this is more of a fade on the number for me. With the San Diego State side, you got Cal who's 3-0, and last year when they came over to the ACC, them and SMU, I said, these are legitimate teams for the ACC, and we know what SMU went ahead and did. Cal kind of did it quietly, but Will Cox, the coach over at Cal, has built a nice little steady program here, and right now, the Cal's sitting here at 3-0. Are they worthy of a 2-touchdown favorite over SDSU? I don't think so. I mean, they could get away from San Diego State, but San Diego State has basically got to bring the pressure to slow down JKS, Jerron, Kirby, Sarah Capola. So that's a mouthful, but the kid's a legitimate quarterback. He's really something special there. So that's why Cal's kind of got that spark, continuing forward. But I think if San Diego State can bring the pressure, I think they make a game out of it here. And then don't forget, Cal's coming off of that big win last week against Minnesota. So that was a huge win for them. So then, like I said, it's 3-0. I'm not going to say it's a letdown spot for them, but it could be one of those spots where they just kind of play a little tighter game, and then San Diego State try to control the clock a little bit. So I'm going to take the points here with San Diego State.
Yeah, I like what you're saying with that one, Big Ragu. Plus, it's a lot of recency bias with the big win that Cal had last week. Yeah. So going into that, and San Diego and up north, they compete amongst each other in the state of California. So some of these guys know each other. So some of these guys played each other last year.
Yeah.
So you always got a wide window opportunity to cover that spread. San Diego State really doesn't get spreads like that quite often, but
they're I think the home team in the series is like 9-0.
Yeah.
And this game is on the road too in San Diego State. So
there we go.
There you go.
Now you guys know for years, if you've been over here with the Boston the Sauce, big shout out to the chat, man. We got the numbers up. My man Jimmy in the house at the party barn, man. I gotta send y'all some party barn gear, man. We're gonna get the Who-Bangin party barn gear going. But yeah, shout out to Jimmy. But San Diego State, I like it. Plus the points. Now for years right here at the Boston the Sauce, Big Ragu is our military game specialist, and he's got a special one for you today. So pay attention as he tell you about this Army game.
I love me some Army action football. And when Army opened up their season week 1, they played a little team called Tarleton State, FCF school. Lost that game in double overtime. So that was and they had like about a 10-11 game win streak going at home. So Army and Mikey Stadium, West Point, Army is a good money team. They usually are. Now Army is running. They run the triple option for years. North Texas is coming into town. This is the team that Army played at North Texas last year in a real low-scoring game. They beat North Texas 14-3. And now these two teams are going to start seeing each other a lot more because Army came over in 2023 to the American Athletic Conference, and last year North Texas joined that conference too with the realignment. So these are teams that don't have a ton of familiarity with one another, but obviously they played a real low-scoring game. What impressed me about Army is when they lost that week 1 game, they went on the road and they had to play Kansas State, a real nice bounce back. In college football, you rarely see teams that I don't think they bounce back like they do in the pros. But college, this team kind of picked up the pieces. And you know what? This is America's finest kids out there playing. So discipline, they had come up with a game plan. And Monken, no matter who he has as his quarterback, he's always going to plug and play them there. So, don't forget now, North Texas has got revenge on their mind. Home turf, and they're catching points here. Army is. They're a small underdog, 2.5 points. I made a bet downstairs. I put a 2-unit play on Army. I didn't tweet it out. I tweeted out Friday, actually. But home turf, they're going to get the streak going back in full effect here. Take a shot on Army with the money line, too, also. Not to take nothing away from North Texas because they have a very capable offense, but Army's going to control the line of scrimmage here. You would think it'd be a low-scoring game the way they do it, but Army, where they used to only pass the ball like 1 or 2 times a game, they're starting to play more formations out of shotgun. And when they throw the ball like 8 to 10 times a game, they're bigger chunk plays too. So I like Army to move the chains and win the game outright. Yeah,
that's a show in itself about the military teams are getting the more pass heavy. Now the linemen, if you look at the linemen, they're much more bigger because they're allowed to get bigger now, and it's been a few years now, so they've caught up with the type of guidance they bring it in. So we like that one over there with Army, and that is our biscuits and gravy for the day. Write it down, take a picture, let's go. But before we go to the next part, let's jump over to our guy AT33 and his pick, as he is, I believe he's 2-1 for the season so far, and this is his pick for today.
Oh, come on!
Okay. Well, the graphic was a little messed up, but that's over 63 in the SMU TCU game from our guy AT33, who we appreciate dearly for those picks, man, because we cashes them. But let's jump into some of our other plays real quick, because the boys is waiting for us downstairs. If you're out here in AC after the show, we're heading over here to the Fanatics Sportsbook at the Oceans. And we're going to be over there partying up for the college football day. And who knows what happens at night with these guys. But next up, Oklahoma Auburn, Big Ragu. You got some action in this game today?
This was a late ad for me. Not so much as I said late ad, because whenever something pops up, we get a little bit of information. We're ready to roll here. So, now Venables been on a hot seat for a minute. When he got over there about 4 years ago, he was having a hard time keeping his recruits. A lot of guys were taking his recruits, but I think this year is his best year as far as talent-wise. And he got a sleeper quarterback out of the whole thing. When he lost his commit this year, he got the lottery. He got Mateer from Washington State, which I thought was the best quarterback in the portal system available. And it's paying dividends for him right now. They line up this game this week against Auburn, where Freeze was kind of in a similar situation, but when he got back at Auburn 3 years ago, we figured, okay, first year back, he was going to have some issues, trying to get his players lined up. And second year, he shit the bed. But this year, they're actually playing good ball. So Auburn's balling out here. So this is a game that you're going to see a ton of offense in, guys. And I really like things to open it up. Even though we think Oklahoma, we're thinking about defense with Venables, but I think they play a little tighter game here, and Auburn's playing defense. We got two decent defenses here, but I think the offenses are going to kind of eat in this game. So I still like Oklahoma on the side, but I kind of like the over a little bit too on the play. So I want to bet the over in the Auburn Alabama game.
There it is, there over in the Alabama game. Next up, I didn't technically want to give this pick, but I played it anyway, and I said, you know what? I'm not hiding picks. But I'm taking the over right here in the Notre Dame-Purdue game. Barry Odom's a very talented coach on offense and defense. I'm pretty sure he figures out a way to get in the end zone, and that Notre Dame defense is acting up. And it ain't just like we saying it's acting up and there's room for improvement. It is Freeman's defense, but Al Golden not being on the defense is really taking big-time effect for Notre Dame. And some of those players we lost last year also is taking effect. So the defense is a little shabby. So I expect Barry Odom to get in the end zone. I think, this is I think the number's a little inflated too. I like Purdue on the other side. Notre Dame really just needs a win right here. And I don't have to necessarily blow anybody out. We haven't showed anything. CJ Carr is a good quarterback. We know this, but the defense has some problems. We know what's going on, and none of those things equal, we could just show up and blow teams out. So I like Purdue plus the points, and I also like the over in that one. Another one I got, the rest of them are all mine. The other one I got right here is Michigan State, but Big Ragu likes this one too. Michigan State versus USC. I jumped on this early in the week. I got it minus 16. It's all the way up to 19.5 right now. I don't know if my 16 is so sweet. I don't know if I advise it at the other rate, but I like USC in this spot. I think USC thing is going to be beating up on people at home, and then they're going to have the worst travel spots. And I've been noticing with the different teams and different schools in all the sports in the college from going from the Pac-12 to the Big Ten. And Michigan State is one. It could just be the scenery in Michigan State coming over to Cali, the way young kids take that or whatever. But I've noticed it in basketball that they were, I think they were ranked number 8 at the time, and they came to California and played USC and UCLA and lost to both. And both of them, USC and UCLA, were super great at basketball, but just kind of shows the mentality of the kids going over it. But that's not my only angle at it. That's just one angle. But also USC, they're fast as hell, and they move the ball on offense pretty good. Just the defense has to come lock it up sometimes. And Michigan struggles on defense, and I mean on offense, and I don't think that they're gonna come with that old school Michigan State defense that's gonna slow this USC team down. So yeah, USC want to blow out everybody at home. They got a point to prove in the Big Ten, and I think they get it done today. Last one. This is mine as well. This is a fade on Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina should be one of the worst teams over there in the belt, and South Alabama, on the other hand, they're coming off a loss to a interstate game against Auburn, which they should have learned their lesson now. They should go in this game like they're the big brother, and big brother this Coastal Carolina team. The line is at 14.5. I took it at 14.5. I don't mind laying alongside. South Alabama is going to score and score frequently. I would say the over, but there's no guarantee that Coastal Carolina is going to get the end zone. So I like that one. South Alabama minus 14.5. Any questions from the chat? We got a shout out to my man Gary, aka Pops, who's just a phenomenal guy. Great meeting that guy.
Yeah,
he's supported us for a long time.
Old school gangster like me.
Old school gangsters, and that's one of the beautiful thing about this trip is like we got levels around here. We got our old school gangsters. We got our young hot guys, we got our middle-aged guys like myself, and we all just kind of come together and make money and go spend the money off. Some people want to go back to the room and get a sandwich. Some people want to go walking down the boardwalk. But whatever you choose, we got a group right here that's down with what you're doing. And if just do you is what we do. But shout out to Huey Hot Snug in the chat. Big happy birthdays for him, Nasty Nate, and our guy Razor. They got all the gift boxes. We got some wonderful gift boxes down there. Everybody got all their good stuff, their shirts and everything. We doing good out here, man. But that's mostly it. My man JT says Auburn plus 6.5.
It's down to 5.5 spots too. So there's money coming in on that game on the Auburn side. Like I say, they're both well-improved squads right now. Both coaches are kind of coming off the hot seat too. So it'll be a real competitive game. One other thing I want to touch on that USC game with Boss was talking about. So with the travel spot with these teams coming out west, some of these kids are playing like they're up 1 o'clock in the morning where they're used to being tucked away in bed probably 9, 10 o'clock at night. So, and they're sleepwalking in the second half. So watch out for like let's say they come up a little short in the first half USC, smash them in the second half because that's been working. So we'll be watching that game close. And then, hey, respect to Michigan State, even though this will be their first Big Ten conference game where we kind of zigzagged on USC last week because they were playing Purdue and we took Purdue plus the points and won that. But this is a comeback game at home, like DJ said. So I think it's a smash spot on USC. But mainly watch out for the second half number or live. It's not even a half anymore. You bet them live, but at whatever the score is in the second half, if they're looking at like they're only covered by 10 points. You probably lay another 10 points, win them in the second half, something like that. But they'll smash in the second half.
My man 1833 says, "Where are their wives?" Hey, the wives, they're being taken care of, doing what they do. We way on the other side.
We're spending our own damn money on this trip now. We're giving it away.
Nobody can lose my money better than me. Okay,
I'm keeping this money right here to myself, right?
It's over. She's seen it. She's watching the show. It's over. It's all hers. But man, thanks. We got a nice, good crowd showing up today, man. Thanks for everybody that showed up here in AC, man. Quick moment of silence from my man Tease, who would have loved to be here.
Oh, yeah.
He talked about this plenty of times of us coming over here, and we here, and he's no longer with us, but. Moment of silence from my boy Tease. We out of here. We're about to go party up. Once again, if you're out here, we're going to the Oceans Fanatics, and you'll catch us all up and down this boardwalk to wee hours of the night, because that's just how we get down. And we out.
The Boss in the Sauce Show.
Boss in the Sauce Show.
Boss in the Sauce Show.
Boss in the Sauce Show. Here we go.